Hey, this is another video on the Wachusett Chess Club 2019 Championship. This is a round 2 game between Ray Paulson playing white and Larry Gladding playing black. Larry had won his first round game and Ray had lost his first round game. And I wanted to look at a couple of spots with the engine to see what I wrote was reasonable or not. And somewhere around white's 10th. Yeah, maybe around here. I wanted to note that with this capture of the c4 pawn, white now has these two knights that cover an awful lot of space on the center and the queen side, and it looked pretty good for white in that sense. You can see that black needs and also has control of this diagonal. Black needs some space, so I think that was a big important point in the first 10 moves or so. And what did the engine say? Not too much, pretty even game. Black had played knight b6, which is the second engine move, and similar kind of thing, maybe a little better for white. And the engine had recommended knight d5, maybe try to diffuse, take out one of those knights and try to simplify how many pieces have to be dealt with. So then black played knight b6, a few more moves. So here it looks like white's spending some time on tempi to move that bishop around, and he decided to keep it. Still a chance here for black to make an exchange, but he didn't do that. And here's a point where he's sort of encouraged to by e4. White has a pretty nice center, good reach with this knight into the black side of the board, and it might be time to take this knight off. Engine saying is, yeah, take it off. And I think one of the points is that knight moves around a lot in this game, so maybe it was good to just cash in and start playing with other pieces, maybe get some space on the queen side. So at this point, kind of look like pretty regular moves. Black offered a queen trade, and white declined. And then here was another spot to look at. White has the choice of whether or not he wants to reposition the bishop again, potentially having a cope with it, yet another threat against it, or just let it come off and then have f takes knight and then get the open, half open f file. And I thought it was pretty interesting that white let the trade happen, and in fact, none of the moves I was thinking of are involved here in what the end in Stockfish says here on Lichess. Well, okay, bf4 is one move, and then queen takes. So that sort of helps black loosen the center up a little bit. Another idea was knight e2, I suppose, with either this, which even better for white, so maybe black doesn't like that, or c pawn c5, even better for white. So it's a pretty tricky spot here for black. And in the end, white attacked the queen. Now if we keep going, then we could get this. pretty good for white, so I don't think we'd be down there. This guy can escape, maybe like this. I don't know, like suddenly better for black, so certainly did something not so cool here. But it didn't happen. White took off that knight and then retreated the queen. Retreating the queen all the way back to d8 in support of this bishop. But that bishop doesn't have a lot of squares. It can come to a couple squares, but some of those are going to be discouraged by possible white pawn advances. And then another spot I want to look at was around here. See, that knights are moving back and forth for black. Yeah, here we go. This is the in spite of what seemed like some advantages for white, black's still in this game. It's 7 pawns apiece. White has the double E pawns, but forward he's got a half open F file, got a half open C file. Black's kind of cramped. He needs space. And here, there's a tactic that's pretty nice, and in fact, it wins the exchange. So again, engine saying we need some space, or black needs to get out of the way of an upcoming tactic. Black did not get out of the way of that tactic. Move the knight again, and then the tactic comes with queen takes rook, king takes, and then knight takes e6, check. This pawn is pinned, can't move, and so king has to move back to g8, and the net result is that white won an exchange for this. It's an important exchange because white already has some control of some space, half open files, and it's hard for black to reach forward and get counterplay. Really needs to keep pieces on the board, but right here he offers the trade, and white snapped it up and then infiltrates, and now it's down to rook against bishop. It's very hard to compete with that. There are a lot of tempo available for pawns as needed, and white moved forward and eventually was able to infiltrate and get a passer and block the bishop out of play. So there you go. That's round 2, Paulson and Gladding, and I'll have another video in a while. Thanks.